You already know that people are going to Google your law firm, so you've got to get this right. Hi, I'm Nate Law from CoachLaw.biz, and I'm excited to talk to you today about how to get reviews on Google. Now, there's so many kinds of platforms that you can get reviews on. All the different social media, Facebook, not to mention all the specific lawyer things like Avvo. So why is Google the most important? Because that's where the majority of people are going to find you. This may be different for certain kinds of boutique or specific types of law firms, but for the most part, no matter what kind of law you practice, somebody's going to be searching for you on Google. That's why it's important. The other reason I find it's important is because you're not going to have the time or energy, you're just not, if you're a small law firm owner, to figure out all these different methods and platforms of marketing. It is going to exhaust you, and if you don't pick one and get really good at it, then you're just going to be spinning your wheels, and you're not going to get enough traction from any one of these platforms or review processes to really make it worth your while. So while these tips can be used for just about any kind of process platform outside of Google, I'm going to focus on Google more specifically. So tip number one, when you're establishing that relationship with your client, make sure that part of your opening process is to say, I want to know from your perspective how I'm doing. So make this a part of your opening process. It's important because if you only just kind of, don't ask for any feedback along the whole way for somebody's case, and then you ask for it at the end, and at the end you're like, hey, give me a good review on Google. It just looks like you're not trying to necessarily improve your process. You're just asking for that, that thumbs up, right? Like I'm going to do right now. So please like and subscribe to this video and give me a thumbs up. But hopefully I'm giving you some value along the way too. So there's that. But see, you can ask for it in the middle, like I just did. You don't have to ask for it at the end or, whatever. But make it a part of your opening process so that it becomes part of the relationship and it opens up their mind a little bit to while they're working with you, they're thinking of things like, oh, that was a nice thing that they did for me, or I like the way they did that there, or this was really good communication, or, it's just, I feel comfortable when I walk into their office. It just opens their mind up a little bit as the case is going, not just having them look back at the end. So number two, you've got all that set up, but make it part of your closing process as well. This should be obvious, but as part of closing your file, closing a matter for a client, and you're showing your appreciation for them, thanking them for the opportunity to work with them and help them throughout this process, make it a part of your process to include a request for a review. Now, if you don't do that specifically, the odds of them actually giving you a review are pretty slim because they're not going to take the time to do it. If they're asked, however, then they'll view it as something that, is important and they want to be helpful. People in general want to be helpful. So make it a part of your closing process. So number three is ask them for a Google review specifically. So one thing I do in a closing email to the client, I'll often do this over the phone as well. That's really, really important to kind of have the attorney do it, I find, as opposed to having just staff or someone, because it's whoever has that relational position with the client they're going to respond more likely to that person than, somebody that maybe they don't really know. But ask for Google specifically, include the link in that email and just say, hey, just want to know if you can give some feedback here and let others know what it was like. But make that specifically a Google request, not a Facebook one, not just in the email response. Encourage them to go to the Google business page site. So number four is frame the value that they are providing by taking a moment to review you. Make it client to client, not client helping you get more business, get more money, anything like that. Frame it as, hey, we really find it helpful for other people who are in a similar situation as you to get the right kind of help that they need and not waste a lot of time or unnecessary dollars chasing down the wrong kind of attorney. So if you can kind of just describe what it was like in your situation, how we helped you, what type of thing we helped you with, and what the result was, man, that could really help a lot of people that are searching for a lawyer that were in the shoes you were in when we started this whole thing. Frame it as client to client and people helping people, not just your client or former client helping you. The exciting thing for me about that is that you're helping your client tap into your mission for helping people. And it gives them a sense of purpose for doing this and something that's a lot bigger than just the relationship even that you've established with them. Number 5, get to the point. Whether you're in an email, on the phone with the client, just get to the point. Don't beat around the bush. Ask for a review. Let them know that it's going to be really helpful both for potential clients and for you, and thank them in advance and just say, hey, I really appreciate you doing this. It means a lot to me. And what helps on this is that if you really believe that it does. If you don't really believe that it does help anybody else, maybe don't say that. But don't apologetically, beg for one of these. Just say, look, this is a really important part of our day-to-day work, is reaching out to people and trying to help people, and this is how you can do it. Tap into their empathy and just get right to the point. The next way to get more Google reviews for your firm is make it a firm KPI. So make it a key performance indicator that you or your leadership team or your partners or whoever you're working with looks at every single week or every single month, or whatever your rhythm for kind of internal firm meetings is, but make it something that you look at. So in my firm, we look at it every single week. We say, how many 5-star reviews did we get? We look at how many, 1, 2, 3, 4-star reviews we get too, and we talk about those as well. But having a number that you set, whether it's annual or monthly for 5-star reviews on Google, is going to keep it top of mind for you so that you do not stop or slow down asking clients for these reviews. And lastly, some people hesitate to ask for reviews because they're afraid they're going to get a bad one. And I got news for you. Most of the time, if you ask for a review, you're going to get a good one or not get one at all. The people who want to give you a bad review, they're going to do it anyway. They're going to go out of their way to slam you and say what a terrible person you are and what a, scoundrel of a lawyer you were. But here's the thing. The negative reviews can actually have more of an impact than all of your positive ones, in terms of when people look at those and they see how you respond to them. It just makes you a real person. It just makes you real. If you have all 5-star reviews and no 1-star reviews, or somewhere in the middle, then it just seems like maybe this is all kind of fabricated. How can someone have only 5-star reviews? There must have been a problem somewhere along the line. After all, doesn't it seem like some people have this tendency to believe that lawyers can be kind of unrelatable? Well, you can change that. You can change that by showing your strong communication by responding positively to a negative review. It makes you real, makes you relatable. You can take responsibility for your part of things, and you have an opportunity usually to explain why your philosophy as a law firm led you to do something or not. You gotta be careful on the ethics here. If we're gonna get ethical, you cannot reveal any client confidences. But you can respond to what they're saying in terms of, well, thank you for sharing that information. Here's how we approach things as a firm. Here is our philosophy for how we deal with situations that you're describing, and here's why. And it doesn't get into a fight with this former client, because why would you do that? That'd be terrible. You would be better off just not saying anything in response, if that's the case. But what it gives you is the opportunity to really speak to everybody else who's reading the review. You're not really responding to that person. You're not going to change that person's mind at this point. But what you can do is use that as a platform to share your philosophy and the way you do things with anyone who's going to be reading that negative review. And that is going to give you a lot of traction and just make you like just a real person that people are going to be attracted to and want to work with. So get out there and build these muscles of getting more Google reviews. It's going to increase your ability to get more clients. It's going to increase your ability to more efficiently get connected with the right people that need your exact type of expertise and help. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you the best. Like and subscribe this video, and I'll see you next time.